IVM.
Hello and welcome to episode 48 of Football Should Ball. We're calling this one Luck by Chance. We'll figure out why during the course of the entire episode. From what I remember, it is an awesome film. I think Farhan was there in it and was directed by his sister, if I'm not mistaken. So that was a pretty good film. And my reasoning behind it, we'll get to it. But more importantly, being that if you try something and keep trying and keep working at it and keep going at it, then like Ronaldo, you'll be able to score a free kick in the 43rd attempt.
खून हो गया है episode का खून. Karthik, that is actually a dialogue from the movie.
Yeah. Excellent movie. Like indie cinema, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
It is the opposite of there is Anurag Kashyap in it, but not indie cinema.
Intellectual cinema.
I thought there's an accent issue. You wanted to say Hindi cinema, but you ended up saying like indie cinema.
Accent issue.
Also, when you started the episode, you said we'll figure out on the way. I thought we'll figure out why we're doing this episode on the way while we're doing it. Anyway,
I'll tell you why we're doing this episode. We're doing it because we need to reach episode number 50 because that is a landmark episode and the excitement is going through the roof. We'll have something special planned for sure for all our listeners, the millions of them out there for episode 50 of Football Should Ball. So, but to get to 50, you have to do 48. Now you have to do 49.
Why can't we just do 50?
It doesn't work that way. There's not Japan where there's no floor 13 or something of that sort.
Can't we do? So maybe we could do 2 in this week.
Yeah, we'll do that. Why don't we do that? Let's do 2 in this week.
Or we could follow the Star Wars naming culture.
Start with 50.
Start with 50.
Okay, so on that note, we have awakened the ad force in the IVM network. We'll take a break and be right back.
Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you're not following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money and Intel. Their support makes this content possible. So, been a really exciting week on the network this week. We've had some really cool stuff. My old friend Vivek Lad was on Storytellers and Storysellers. Definitely do check that out. On Cyrus Said, we had Ashwin Sanghi on Thursday's episode, and Cyrus and myself did a cock and bull, just the two of us. That was fun as well on Monday. Do check that out. Masaba was on Advertising is Dead, which was another really, really strong episode from Varun. And on the sports front, both Edges and Sledges, Football Should Ball had some really fun episodes. That's the Football Twaddle. Do check those out as well. And if you haven't been paying attention and you haven't been listening to Smile India in these times, I don't know why you aren't. It's the most uplifting show that you could listen to. It's a short, bite-sized piece of really positive things that happen in India. Do definitely check that out. And with that, let's get you back to your show.
So we're back with episode 48 of Football Should Ball, which is Luck by Chance. Now I have a question for you guys. Now tell me what Del Piero couldn't do, Trezeguet couldn't do, Roberto Baggio couldn't do, Zlatan Ibrahimovic couldn't do, Michel Platini couldn't do, Carlos Tevez couldn't do, Vieri couldn't do, Luca Toni couldn't do, and even Nicholas Bentner couldn't do. I'll tell you, it is scored 25 goals in a single season in the league for Juventus, which Cristiano Ronaldo has done, being the first man since, 1960-61. And this was pointed out to us very, very, I don't know.
Crudely.
by a listener of the podcast and hopefully a friend of the podcast as well, Nakul, who helpfully spells his name with COOL. So that helps when you do that. So Nakul, thanks a lot for pointing this out, and the fact that we have, when I say we, I mean more of me, have gone after Ronaldo a fair amount. So it is good that he scored a free kick after so many attempts. It's good that he's got 25 goals, which so many luminaries, including Bentner, have not been able to do for Juventus.
But he's also the first player to score 25 goals in 3 different leagues. Isn't that? I'm sure a lot of people can't be in the running for that, especially one person I can think of immediately. You have to leave the league to be able to score goals in other leagues.
So, but all said and done, that is an outstanding achievement. I think he was also the first to win a league title in all 3 different leagues. Again, I may be getting this wrong, but I think...
Yes.
Unless Beckham won it. No, Beckham never won Serie A, right? Like he went to Milan after...
He cried now because he couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Also, MLS can't be considered as a third league. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Zlatan, if only a certain Manchester United may have given him a chance, but knowing that club, I mean, you can't really blame him for not winning.
He won in Europe with United.
He did.
Most prestigious club, but the one slightly below it.
Yeah, but no, well played, Cristiano Ronaldo finally scoring from a free kick. I hope this gives him now that feeling that he can let go of taking free kicks. I hope his attempts stop. I mean, he sent Pjanic out of the club simply because Pjanic is a free kick taker. Yeah, he's told Barcelona, you.
I mean, it's like a thing with Ronaldo, na? Like he's an all-rounder, so he has to do everything correct all the time. So I can see why that might be a thing for him. Like, what is that one thing I can't do? And then you become so consumed by it that it's the only thing you want to end up doing, and that's why But he's broken that jinx, like you said, after 43 attempts, yes. But still leading in career free kick goals against number 2.
That is true.
Is he also the only Juventus player, the Serie A player, to score so many goals from penalties?
Nah.
No, that must be a United player. Penalty for United nahi bola.
Chalo, theek hai.
Yeah, but to go back to Shivran's point, he's right about the fact that during this Ronaldo's drought, Messi has scored 19 goals from direct free kicks, but it still doesn't put him ahead of CR7, Big Ron. Big Ron is Lukaku. Why am I calling Ronaldo Big Ron? CR7. Because Ronaldo has 55 goals directly and Messi has 52. It's very likely that Messi will catch up, but it's still a damn good achievement. So in celebration of Ronaldo, he's the first Juventus player since Omar Sivori to score 25 plus goals in a league campaign. He's the first player ever to score 25 plus goals in the Premier League, in La Liga and in Serie A in a single campaign. And he also has 55 goals from direct free kicks. And however you put that, there's no way that is not excellence.
International honors.
Also great haircuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of money.
But Sapre, did you see over the weekend? I mean, it all boiled down to Juventus again winning again, and then came the fact that Lazio lost to AC Milan. Zlatan led AC Milan.
I'm sorry. Why are we discussing Serie A? I mean, we did Ronaldo and we're done. Why are we discussing smaller teams?
I wanted to take liberty.
Why are we discussing
We're going to go league by league in terms of importance.
It is so stupid. FIFA doesn't even call it. It calls it by some other name. It's that stupid.
Piemonte Calcio.
Serie A we are discussing. But yeah, they have an advantage now. Stupid Inter and stupid Napoli.
Napoli nahi re, Lazio.
Napoli versus Napoli lost. Napoli versus
Roma.
But
Napoli are anyway some 7th or something. They beat Roma, in fact. Yeah, Insigne scored a late goal. But anyway, it's 7 points to Lazio. It's, plus 9 to Inter Milan. The one thing I'll say before we end with Serie A is Juventus' next 2 games are against Milan, a resurgent Milan, and then Atalanta, who are arguably the side to watch across Europe and in the world. This is fun you want to have. You just watch Atalanta. So we could have a title race on our hands. But before we get to what you guys want to talk about, we have to go on to the other side of the Ronaldo-Messi watch. Because our man came up with 2 assists. He helped Antoine Griezmann score one of the best goals of the season.
Beautiful goal. One of the best goals he's scored. I think one of the best goals Barcelona has scored this season. A beautiful chip. Messi could have had a goal himself, but stupid Vidal, the age that he is of, he couldn't get out of the way. Couldn't get his foot was behind the line. The offside trap, actually. But beautiful goal by Griezmann. And finally, I'm happy for Griezmann. He is now in the consideration list of that WhatsApp group. Lovely. Good to see him start. Good to see him score. Are we talking about Messi? No.
Does this put to rest the fact that Griezmann and Messi are, at war, and the eventual speculation that might mean that Griezmann might come to Arsenal? That is, I think, off the table now.
Yeah, I think we can put the second part completely to bed.
I was I'll confess, I was trying to start that rumor. Clearly, it's not gone very far.
I mean, these Arsenal guys, now you need to be happy that a guy like Thomas Partey is being linked to the club. It's like a massive 2 steps down for him. Let's be honest. Okay, now you want Griezmann?
It's better than coming for 15 minutes now.
That's there, but now probably he's getting to start. He got a good hug also from from Messi. And with Messi, I think playing in that nice role in the middle, that number 10 position with Suarez.
So wait.
Yeah.
So you're saying playing for Arsenal 70 minutes or 90 minutes or whatever versus playing for 15 minutes and Messi's hug are equal.
No. I'm saying Messi's hug is probably.
also you get to enjoy that look on Quique Setien's face. Every time Barcelona concede or score, his expression just doesn't change. I don't know what's wrong with that guy.
Did you see, that reminds me, did you see Ronaldo not listening to Sarri?
Yeah.
Did you see the gif where he's like, kya wapas bolna shuru kar diya yaar, bas.
First player to do it in 3 leagues. Not listen to your manager.
He managed his team to the Euro victory.
Yeah. So also on international stage. Doesn't listen to his manager.
I think Ronaldo comes to, whenever he becomes a manager, I'm sure he will. Eventually, I think he'll first transition into player manager and then he'll become a complete manager. Maybe he should take United.
Don't you think that the transition started unofficially a couple of years ago already?
Yeah, no, it started with Kepa. When Kepa said, I'm not coming off. I think that's where it starts.
Yeah, and I have another question for Shivram for you. Is there a better penalty taker than Sergio Ramos?
No, I clearly not, because who has scored the most goals in the La Liga from the restart?
Sergio Ramos.
You would think, yeah, perfect. You would think it will be Messi scoring free kicks and this, that, and the other, and hugging Griezmann and blah. But who scored the most goals? The defender. Who's number 1 in the league? Cleared by 4 points? Real Madrid. So, I mean, let's put that to rest. Why do we discuss these second-tier teams?
Fair enough. So Real Madrid are 4, but effectively 5 because they have a better head-to-head record than Barcelona as well. So which means Barcelona will probably have to draw. Real Madrid will have to lose 1 game and draw 1 game. There are only 4 games remaining, man. Like it's.
Are they playing any of the top?
No,
the top 4?
These 2 games that they had were probably their toughest, which was against Getafe and Real Sociedad. Villarreal Barcelona played and Real Sociedad, who Madrid played. Both games they won on Ramos penalties. Again, there's a big hoo-ha going on in Spain saying Madrid get all the decisions going their way. Clearly,
So Madrid has won 3 games with a single goal margin.
Right.
Wow. So they don't even care anymore. They just want to win.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, but when we came back from lockdown, everyone was so excited. No, Hazard's back. Hazard's fit. He's off the chocolate. And Hazard played 2 games. He played well. But then I think Zidane has decided we don't need Hazard to win games 1-0. Right,
we have Ramos and the referee.
Yeah, exactly.
What else do we need?
Awesome. So okay, so that's Serie A done. This is La Liga done.
Bundesliga. Let's talk about Bundesliga. Come on.
That's pretty much all that happened. But the Bundesliga was done the week before. But this week there was a DFB Pokal. DFB Pokal.
Sounds really interesting. Tell me more.
Yeah, well, Bayern Munich beat Bayer Leverkusen 4-2. Lewandowski has now scored 50 goals in the year. Bayern have won the double. They have done it for the 5,000th time in their history. No other club has even done it twice. So, yeah. Let's.
But is Lewandowski taking free kicks? Tell me that.
No, it was actually.
That is the important criteria.
It was Alaba who scored from a free kick in the Pokal final. So
this Lewandowski is going through a drought then. He's not scored from free kicks. Disappointing, Lewandowski.
Very disappointing. I think that's all the major football that we've covered, and we've covered it very quickly this time for the week. So we're going to come back. We're going to come back from this break with some Premier League action, and of course the Fantasy Premier League, where in our group we have a new leader on top. But first, a few messages from the IVM network.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.
Okay, welcome back to Football Shootball, and over the last week we have seen Liverpool lose and win, City win and then lose. But more importantly, for the two of y'all, both your clubs, Manchester United and Arsenal, seem to be finding some form and are actually playing very good football.
You seem to be surprised with that. I don't know why.
And I probably you expected this from Manchester United. And Arsenal, I thought, had no hope. Yeah, after that defeat against Brighton.
Same. I was also surprised. So count me in your group. I was like, what is happening? This is not going according to plan.
I was beating Wolves, man. Come on. That's like and United have gone and beaten some Sheffield who are out of form and all, and suddenly now they think they're big shit. But
Bournemouth.
And
all of these teams, we either drew or lost them in the first leg, not the leg, whatever the previous matches. So tough fixtures these are.
But now you have England's future playing for you, no? Greenwood.
We have all English players in the United team are England futures.
Wait. Jadon Sancho is still to come. Relax.
I'm talking about Rashford. I'm talking about Brandon Williams. I'm talking about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Maguire is shit, so I won't talk about him.
Did I already make this joke that you don't need to make a statue for Maguire? He already won.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
but you can crack that after every match.
That is true.
Yeah. But it was good. What I forget the two games. What did Martial score a hat trick in this week?
No, man.
But that was last week when he scored a hat trick. Okay. Bruno has been involved in some United's last 20,000 goals. He's been involved in all the goals.
yeah. Right. 20,000 goals only. 5-2 against Bournemouth.
Awesome. So that's 5-2. And Arsenal, of course, beating Wolves. I thought that was a damn impressive performance.
That was a good, strong game. Yeah.
Yes.
That Saka goal was crazy. Yeah, Shiva.
Very good. I didn't expect him to score, which is why I didn't take him in my team here. But overall, I think he's really blossomed into this total 90 player. He started from left back, then now he's playing through the middle. What is happening? I don't know. Where is Pepe? But the one we paid 70 million for is not.
But I'll tell you something. If you see the season overall with Pepe, he's got all competitions, of course. 8 goals, 8 assists. And he's been playing, I think, a little better after lockdown. I'm feeling once the pressure of the price tag goes, maybe next year onwards.
When it depreciates.
I think.
Or either that or Arsenal have to go out and buy somebody expensive than Pepe, which is why Shiva's been talking about Griezmann.
Yeah, that was my plan actually. Yeah, good. You caught it well done.
Okay, so I have a question because we don't give enough love to Liverpool. We didn't give it when they won the title as well, but that's their fault because they never played to win the title. They wanted Chelsea to do their... Yeah, exactly. They wanted Chelsea to do their dirty business for them. So, totally Liverpool fans, it's totally Liverpool's fault that we didn't give enough love. But there's one thing that has been discussed quite a bit, Sapre, over is how will Liverpool improve? How will they change their side? And there's a lot of talk that you'll have to change the front three. And I have a theory about this. I don't know what you'll agree. I don't think getting in someone young or new is going to make much of a difference. I think you need someone experienced and someone who Jurgen Klopp knows. I know for a fact... We know. I was thinking more that will affect you because we know for a fact that Aubameyang has played under Klopp. Aubameyang wants to leave Arsenal and he's probably hoping for Barcelona, but Liverpool, he'll fit in that system. He's a certain starter and he's not going to have to get used to the Premier League. There's silence, so I assume that Shiva doesn't agree with me.
I thought that was for Sapre.
No, I was going to answer, but when he said Aubameyang and I saw a look on your face, I saw you murmuring something like some abusive words.
No, that is unparliamentary language.
Yeah, no,
I'll give you that.
Yes,
that's a good conspiracy theory. I will give you that. It makes a lot of sense, and I can see why Arsenal will also want to cash out because their biggest aim right now is Europa, right? For a club that is aiming for Europa versus a club that is in the Champions League, title winners, may possibly repeat it if City don't splurge everything they ever have. There is a good chance they'll do it. And why did Van Persie leave the club? To win trophies. What did he do the season right after? Win a trophy.
And the Golden Boot.
And the Golden Boot. What did Samir Nasri do? He won a trophy. I mean, there are Oxlade-Chamberlain, for hell. We are getting 2.5 million. We shouldn't touch it only. Like, ye paisa to ganda hai, touch hi nahi karenge. Because he's gone on to win the Premier League. He won the Champions League last year. I mean, for players who've left Arsenal is a good feeding club now. Arsenal is the next Southampton for Liverpool.
Also, with Griezmann coming into Arsenal, Auba, I think, will not have a place to start. So, yeah, Liverpool could be a good place for him. But honestly, to your question, that front three needs to change. And if somebody has to change in that front three, it has to be Mohamed Salah. I think Mane has been untouchable. Firmino is a good player. He suits the style that Klopp plays. I think Aubameyang would be a fantastic replacement there. Also, they need to find somebody else for Shaqiri. बेचारे को कुछ नहीं दे रहे वो लोग यार. कुछ भी नहीं मिलता उसको.
But before that, you're saying they'll cash out on Salah, so Chelsea is going to buy him again.
More likely Real Madrid, I would think.
That's also true.
I'm guessing I'm assuming, like what I got from what Sapre was saying was, it's not like it's maybe Salah wants to go to a Juventus, a Real Madrid, or a Barcelona. In terms of that, as they're considered clubs of a higher stature than Scousers.
It's true. It's not considered. It is true.
Coming from United fans, though, that seems a little biased. But let's focus on what else happened. I know we've already passed the stage, but Liverpool got thrashed by the same people who gave them a guard of honor like half an hour ago. Almost 5-0, but thankfully the referee was on Pool's side. He made it 4-0. And of course, then City showed who they were. And then they lost to Southampton. If you guys remember, during the lockdown, Southampton and City played a game of tic-tac-toe.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Because I think Southampton wanted to play with Norwich and Norwich's social media guy was sleeping. Because क्या करेगा अभी लॉकडाउन में सोएगा ना आदमी. City was obviously free. They were counting the games and how much they had to win and all. So then they were awake. So then they played and then it was a draw between Southampton and City when they played that fake tic-tac-toe. So eventually Southampton went and real tic-tac-toe mein City couldn't show up. And like Sapre said yesterday, City weren't that bad. Just Southampton were really solid at the back and just like cutting them off on all chances. Also, I can't go without like shouting out for McCarthy. What a bunch of saves he made and kept them at least 4-5 out. Clear, obvious chances, especially that David Silva header.
That City team is going to get a massive revamp. When I say massive, not in terms of a lot of players, but like a couple of players with massive price tags on them. Because Champions League to khelna nahi hai next season. Premier League to jeet raha hai.
Always looks like he's about to go in, like he's about to cry. Like he's not done anything for the longest time.
But I think he scored like a lot of goals this season in spite of not doing shit in the match after the lockdown. I think before he scored a ton of goals across competitions.
My thinking is the pressure maybe in terms of he is scoring goals and he's scoring a good number of goals for someone who can play an understudy. But in this season, we've seen Aguero has not been available. And if you're Manchester City, then you need someone to play that Aguero role that he's done for 7 years. And this was probably Jesus' chance. And
I'm sorry. So are you saying Aubameyang can move to City?
Oh, he could move. Yeah.
Aubameyang could move to any club at this moment in time.
Even Brighton, I mean, they beat Arsenal twice this season.
But they have more pay.
Yeah. They have more pay. Yeah.
They have more pay, but less pay. So it's not good.
They're a humble team.
Yeah. But that reminds me, Guendouzi is not being selected. He's clearly had a bust up with Arteta. And I think Mikel is fed up of this brat.
ये 20 साल के छोकरे पैसा करते रहते हैं. They're at the biggest club in the world, like one of the few biggest clubs in the world. Can you like straighten your act out at 20 years old? I mean, I don't know. Obviously, both sides of the story. I've only read a version of what Arteta has mentioned in the press. But what the is wrong with you? Don't you want to play football instead of like losing over your ego and losing your spot in a place where Xhaka is starting and getting a yellow card before the game begins?
Booed by his own fans, and it was his example that Arteta took to give a lesson, tell Guendouzi what you should be and shouldn't be doing probably. वो तो पैसा भी नहीं कमाता इतना Xhaka देख फिर भी कितना अच्छा खेल रहा है.
Okay, talking about some winnings, we have had you two at least from what I read in all the messages that you all share on our groups, have had pretty good fantasy Premier League weeks.
Good is like a stretch. I got my predictions right. I didn't have all the players. That is the slight difference.
So you're like this are you one of those Twitter accounts at FPL Sorcerer or something of that sort?
Sorcerer. I should start it like that. Just football. We should start a handle, football. Anyway, so let me quickly start by the league and addressing the fact that for the longest time, Garam Mosala was number one, right? But after Pool has won, you saw they were all hungover and then City came and beat them 4-0. Garam Mosala Karthik Jagtap has also been hungover for quite some time now. He's lost his top spot. And the funny part is, if you look at the league, and I'm sure by the time you listen to this, a couple of games would have since transpired, but the top 15, only 3 have green arrows. Everyone has actually slipped. So that means these 3 people who've now entered the top 15 are brand new. They weren't ever there. Now, the funny part is, someone's also copied. Do you guys remember that one shitty joke I made from Mosala Dosa?
You make so many shitty jokes.
Sai Kiran Rai has completely ripped me off, and he's taken that name with zero credit. Sai, I would like credit for my bad joke, please. But that being said, okay, so number 1, we have a new leader, Anurag Mandle. His team is new number 10 billion ? Which is, I think it's an emoji which doesn't show up. But now we'll take it as a question mark. So his team's name is new number 10 billion. So there has to be that effect. Garam Mosala number 2. Ole Sanat Vidwans at number 3. Kamehameha, my favorite team. And Shashank Baliga number 4. Not a Gamer 11 liar. He's in the top 5. Alap Roy, who was number 2 for the longest time, slipping away to 6th. Rambo, if you guys remember from FPL FI, is now on 8th position. I have now slipped to 32. Sapre, where are you?
I am 88th. But I have 3 players to play. But I was in the hundreds, so I've done pretty well in the past couple of weeks.
Not bad, double digit.
Double digits, absolutely. And I have 3 more players to play, so I hope to at least get in the early 80s, like 81, 82 by the end of this game week.
And your target for the end of the season, Sapre, was what?
Top 10.
Top 10 with how many game weeks do we have? Like
don't
4.
Don't get into technicalities and like statistics. This is emotional.
Okay, then let's make it top 15. Huh? Like, why don't you try your best to reach top 30? Chalo. Because there are 3 of us, 10 players for each of us. So that's 30.
So I understand that math.
So let's do this. Shiva will try and get in between rank 1 to rank 50. I will try to get between rank 51.
I'm already there.
To 100. And Karthik, you can try and.
I'm out of 150 also, so I have a struggle. I'm pretty sure I'm like 170.
Shlok Chaturvedi's IBM podcasts has overtaken Karthik Iyer now.
Karthik? Oh my God, I can't see only Karthik Iyer. Where is he?
Yeah, I'll be around.
Doesn't matter. I'm hoping you've not left the league. So if
I'm there in the league.
Join the league. Oh, you're 153. Not bad. You're above Shlok. Yeah, come on. He's 159.
You had Wadi captain this time. Lovely.
Very nice.
Yes.
Forgot to change your team.
For everyone who wants to join this league, you can do so as well. So go to fantasy.premierleague.com, go to Fantasy Premier League and put in the code 4WGD9N. That's 4 as in number 4. W as in Wanyama, G as in Grealish, D as in Dendonker, 9 the number 9, and N for Ndombele, who's now playing for Spurs. So don't forget to put that code in. It's 4WGD9N. You can also beat Karthik Iyer. We can put a lot more difference between Karthik and Sapre just because you join the group. Even if you don't play, it's fine. Just join the group. I'm pretty sure you'll get, if you just hit default team, you'll get more points than Karthik's advanced math that he did some 3 for 10 players. But what's happening in the coming league? Lots of fun is happening. Chelsea is playing Crystal Palace. So Pulisic is a must-have now at this rate. I would say Willian even more, although Willian is slightly cheaper. But Willian is on penalty duty. Pulisic gets all the points because he got fouled.
By the way, Willian has only scored through set pieces since the lockdown.
So he's better than Ronaldo. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And question mark at the end.
Willian. Watford is playing Norwich. Anyone wants to take a punt on Dini for this game week? Just captain him, see if he gets. And Watford are at home. So you might get like 30 points out of him. And you can just sell him off after.
I wish I had bench boost. I would have taken both Norwich goalkeeper and the Watford goalkeeper.
No, I can assure you it'll be a cracker of a game. This is tomorrow night, Tuesday. So by the time you hear this, you will know the score. Arsenal are playing Leicester, so don't watch that, just pray. City are playing Newcastle. So that might be a goal fest, both sides, same maxima. And whoever turns up for City, I don't know, is Sterling starting? I can't tell.
No one knows anymore. Foden will start. Foden will start this time. Please take
Foden also cheap.
Foden
also cheap. Wolves is playing Sheffield United, so that means you have to get Jimenez, get also Doherty. Why do English commentators say Doherty instead of Doherty? His name, this is a H, there's no CK.
Yeah, but isn't Doherty a girl's first name?
That is Dorothy.
Dorothy, yeah.
A Wizard of Oz you are. Liverpool are playing Brighton. They will score like they did last night. Tottenham are playing Bournemouth. Good time to get Kane. Just get 5 strikers, I'm telling you. United are playing Villa. And Villa got thrashed? No, they didn't get thrashed.
2-0. Actually, 45 minutes Liverpool could score a goal. But Liverpool's team was shit. I mean, who starts Oxlade-Chamberlain here?
Arsenal. Anyway, so more on that in the future. You can still join the league, do that. And that's the wrap up on FPL for this week.
So join our FPL league with the code that Shiva just gave, and you can join us each week on the IVM Podcast Network and every other major podcast platform for Football Shootball. As Shivram has mentioned, we will have 2 episodes out this very week, our 48th and 49th, so that we make 50 larger than ever next week.
So if you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on our social media handles. We are at IVM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I'm Fickleberry Hun on Twitter and Instagram. That's Huckleberry Finn, but Fickle.
If you want to reach out to me, I am Sapre on Twitter and GSapre on Instagram.
You can reach out to me at iRant, which is IYERANT on Twitter and Instagram. This is Football Shootball. Recognize.
Are you looking for India's most awesome cricket podcast? Are you now tired of listening to the same old guys drone on about cricket everywhere? Edges and Sledges is a weekly cricket podcast hosted by 3 fans of the game, Varun, DJ, and myself, Ashwin. It was established in early 2018, has over 60 episodes now, and is of course now proud to be on the IVM Podcast Network. Each week, we get together from 3 different time zones, the USA, the UK, and Singapore, and we talk about things from the world of cricket, with a focus on Indian cricket. We often interview special guests from all around the world, including former cricketers and cricket media personalities. So check out Edges and Sledges, the cricket podcast, now on the IVM network.
How many times have you motivated yourself to improve your sleep, or lose weight, or be more productive? How many times have you failed? Hi, my name is Ashton Doctor. Tune into my show, The Habit Coach Podcast, where we focus on creating small, tiny habits to improve your life instead of those big, impossible tasks. So make listening to me a habit every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com or on your favorite podcasting app.